Welcome to Hello Me, It's Me, Vulnerable AF, a podcast hosted by Nikki D. Lovely. That's really just her diary disguised as a podcast, but who cares? You're here for it. Join in as she addresses her self-reflections on life, love, and dating, and gives us all the tea by being more vulnerable than she ever has, with herself and the world. So let's get started in today's episode with Nikki D. Lovely. Already in progress.
Hello. Hopefully you can hear me with my little bitty microphone. Hello and welcome to another episode of Hello Me, It's Me, Vulnerable as F. Now, I have been missing in action it's been like almost 3 months now. It's going to be August. I moved March, April, May, June, July. I'm sorry. It's been 4 months. I'm sorry for being missing in action. I was going to just do like an audio podcast, and I said, you know what? I promised to do video, so we're going to do video no matter what I look like. And funny part about that is I just completed, not completed, but I'm doing this new show. Can't disclose because I signed an NDA, but it reminds me of Survivor. And there's no makeup. I can't wear any makeup. I look a mess. I look a complete mess. But what can I say? Yeah. What can you say? You get to see the all natural me. All natural Nikki. Yeah. I'll put that on a t-shirt. Anyway. So, what is new, Nikki? What is new? I'm sure that's what you're asking, because you don't always say y'all don't care, but somebody cares. I have actually had some people ask me how come I haven't posted on my podcast in a minute. And I think I was really just trying to get settled, and I don't think people realize how hard moving is. Like, you move from especially moving from state to state or across country to cross country. I think it's a little easier move when you're moving in state or you're moving within the same city. But when you're moving from one state all the way to another, and especially when it's like 3,000 miles away, it's a little harder to move. And even though I'm from California, it was a little bit harder to get adjusted to as well. So I think I'm adjusted now. It's been 4 months. I'm adjusted. And then the funny part is I'm going to have to move again in the next 6 months. I think I have like 6 to 9 months. Anyway, it's still scary having to move and keep moving and move again. But the reason why I moved was because I got a great deal on this house that I'm staying at. And I'll show you just the outside. Beautiful within itself. As you can see, I had a whole video where I showed everybody exactly where I have moved or whatever. Maybe I'll show you guys again at the end. But I'm renting this house out. There's no way I can afford this house at this price, at least for now. So I got a great deal on renting the house out for a year, and I'm just trying to take it as a blessing to utilize it as more time to kind of get myself together and get what I want to do together. And I'm hoping that this new endeavor will spark some openings to other things. I don't know, or maybe it'll be the death in me. I don't know. Either way, we're gonna ride it out. I'm a little nervous. I've been having dreams, like more like nightmares, about this new endeavor, but in the end, it's gonna be good. We're just gonna speak positivity. So far, so good. We're just gonna speak positivity on our lives. It's just gonna go up from here. And I've just been praying. I don't really have much more of a than to ride this out and see what comes of it. So I'm hoping that's the right thing to do. I've been in such a standstill and such a lull and living for everybody else for so long. I'm looking forward to just kind of living for myself. I'm just hoping and praying that this works out for me. And yeah. Dating. I started dating. That was one thing. If you follow me on TikTok, I will say I did start dating in the beginning for a little while. And I hate when I do this, but I do this thing where I say aggressively date, or date more than one person at a time, which I really still think is good. I think it's good to date more than one person at a time. The only reason why I say that is because sometimes, I feel like you can get your feelings way too wrapped up in one person. But when you have options, you're not just dead set on that one thing working out, so that if or when that thing doesn't work out, you're okay. And if it works out, even better, right? I think some of the guys that I've dated so far, I don't know if in this dating world, everybody's just like really jaded. I'm just going to say the people are really jaded because they say they're jaded, but I don't think anybody's really trying anymore, which is in a way has made me kind of like not really want to try. I feel my husband is going to come to me some other type of way. I've been trying to make myself available on the dating sites because I feel like you just never know. Maybe I will meet him that way. But for some reason, my I'm gonna say my inner self is telling me to just take a break and not try so hard. And not that I was trying hard to begin with, but I was really interested to see what the dating scene was like back in California. And I guess the dating scene in California is as bad as it is everywhere else because yeah, because that's what I'm finding. And not to say that the quality here is a little bit better, but I feel like a lot of the people that I'm running across either just are very into their work and not really into like trying to make time for someone else, or, starts off strong, like in the honeymoon phase, and all of a sudden everything fizzles off. And people start realizing that like love and life and getting to know somebody takes a lot of work. And I really don't think people are really interested in putting in the time and the effort and the work that it takes to get to know somebody. At least that's what I've seen so far. Or you come across somebody who's like love bombing you, where they're already talking about marriage and having kids together, like on the first 2 or 3 dates, and then date 4 or 5 they disappear. I had that happen as well. I'm at this point right now where I'm just taking a break. I feel like people say a lot of things, but to the point where they really mean it, I'm not sure. There's a lot of people out here who have a lot of anxious and avoidant attachment styles. And I know because I used to be one of those people. I was anxious and avoidant, both of those, at one time. Well, I mean, there were different times in my life, but I was anxious and avoidant at one time. So I know anxious and avoidant when I see it. I know people who genuinely seem like they're ready for relationships as well. I've just noticed that I'm not sure I was the right person for them. Or sometimes, like with this one particular guy I was talking to, I really liked him. I think we gelled very well together, but he was going through a lot of things in his life, and sometimes it's just not the right time. And so when he went MIA, I didn't even press the issue. I was kind of like, this dude has a lot going on. So anytime I run across somebody who has a lot of stuff going on, especially deeply personal issues or family issues or someone passing away in their family, I already know, like, you might as well call it a done deal and let them have their time and their space and keep it pushing. And I don't take it personal. Like, before I used to take things personally, I don't take things personally anymore. I'm looking at dating a totally different way now. And right now, like, if it's meant for me, my daughter keeps asking me, when are you going to get married again? Are you going to get married? And I'm not in any rush. I'm not forcing anything. I'm not trying to make something happen. If it happens, am I open to it? Yes, completely. Do I think it will happen? Yes, completely. However, I want it to be with the right person. I'm not trying to force something with somebody who is just not meant to be with, So it's kind of like this whole situation with what I'm going through with this new endeavor that I'm taking on. If it's meant to be, it's going to happen how I want. Things are going to happen exactly how I need. I'm really getting myself prepared for, if and or when this thing blows up, because I'm looking forward to a new beginning. I'm looking forward to meeting new people. I'm looking forward to being in new places. I'm just looking forward to change. And I don't think there's a lot of people that can say that. I've even said this before, people don't really like change. Most people are afraid of change. But for me, taking that 2 years, moving from California to Louisiana, I got to a place where I actually welcome change. Like, I feel like if you get too comfortable, it's time to push yourself into something new. It's time to push yourself into change, because that's the only way that you grow. And I'm in a place in my life where I'm ready to grow. I'm tired of being stagnant. I'm tired of not knowing what I'm doing. I know that in order to grow, I must change. And in order to change, I have to do the work. I'm ready to do the work. And I know 4 months seems like a long time to take off. Most people don't have the luxury to take 4 months off and just, basically do nothing. I'm still paying rent here, so I'm still having to work somewhat, but a lot of this is just really, I have to pat myself on the back just a little bit because saved for 7 years. I just saved it for 7 years and I'm continuing to live off that. Now I only have probably about a year's worth left, which is why I really need to figure out what the hell I'm doing within this next year. But I think after I get back from next endeavor that I'm doing, I'm going to be hopefully I'm going to be a lot more focused and know exactly what it is I need to focus on and what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to just pour my all into my writings. I think I'm going to start posting more of my poetry. I think I'm going to start possibly even streaming more. I don't know. I would love to just like go up into the mountains and live in the mountains for the rest of my years and nobody ever see me ever again. That would be nice. Like, that's what I would love to do. Do I have enough money for that right now? No. Is my goal to try to strive to have enough money so that I could do that? Yes. Maybe even possibly live on a beach somewhere. But anyway, that all being said, we talked about dating. We talked about what I'm doing now. Basically nothing except for this endeavor that I'm doing. We will talk about that at a later date. But for right now, I'm just going to say everyone who is kind of like still struggling and trying to figure out what they're doing in their life, just be still. One of the greatest things that I think I learned from moving from California to Louisiana was that when you're still, you're able to like see the forest for the trees. That makes sense. You're able to really understand what is important to you. You know, jobs don't care about you. At the end of the day, what do you want out of your life? And I've really been sitting still for the past 3 years, and I think I'm finally getting the clear answers. And sometimes it's not going to come overnight, but prepare yourself. Like, prepare yourself. Do whatever you can right now to make sure that you get the rest that you deserve. Like, for me, I was like, you know what? I'm going to save up for 7 years. I only wanted to take 1 year off and figure myself out, but I needed 2. And then even at this point, this is my 3rd year and I'm still trying to figure that shit out. But I mean, I guess we're all just going through life trying to figure stuff out. But I knew I needed at least 1 year of rest, 1 year of not having to answer anybody, 1 year of not having to go to work, 1 year of not having to force myself to get through life, you know? And yeah, I came up, I had the business idea where I started dog sitting and that helped me to stay at home. And I also, you know, was doing some miscellaneous projects outside of my house. So if you have to Uber, do whatever it is you need to do because you owe yourself you. You owe yourself you. So do whatever you need to do for future you right now. And that's what I'm doing right now. So after this whole thing is over, I'm just going to go back to doing whatever I need to do for future me. And I'm excited about that. I decided I wanted to go back to school to be a psychologist, to get my Psych D. I want to open up my own practice. That's something I really want to do. Now, if I don't have to go to school to do it, fine. I'll just start I'm going to start a coaching business. I'm cool with that too. But it took me a while to realize, you know what, this is what I really want to do. So I'm going to do whatever it is I need to do in order to make that happen. I want to continue to write and I want to continue to just put out more writings. It took me a while to get to this place, but that's what I want to do. So again, do what you need to do to follow your dreams. And sometimes you have to reevaluate your dreams. Sometimes your dreams from what you wanted to do as a child is not going to be what you want to do now. And you have to reevaluate that. I wanted to be this big TV producer. Now, I would love to still be a huge TV producer. I can only do what I can do right now. And so the things I know I can do right now is what I'm putting in. So anyway, not to say I'm giving up on my dream of being a TV producer. Who knows, that might show up later too. But until then, I'm focusing on myself. But anyway, that's all neither here nor there. I am boring the hell out of you, and I apologize. That's probably why I stopped doing this podcast, because I was like, just like first she was talking about what she's not doing, now she's talking about what she's not doing to get to what she wants to do, and now she's talking about some endeavor, and then now she's talking about dating. Yeah, I'm all over the place. That's what it's called. Hello, me is me, vulnerable as F. Yeah, I'm going to let you go, because I've been talking your ear off, and I do appreciate those people who hit me up on my Snapchat like, where's the podcast, Nikki? We missed the podcast. Here's the podcast. I'm bringing the podcast back. And of course, I have to be completely honest with you. I'm going to be off the grid for a month and a half doing this endeavor that I'm doing, but I am going to bring the podcast back. So for now, I'm going to, just put this little tidbit out there, let you guys know I'm going to be away for a little bit, but also know that I have been thinking about you. I haven't forgotten about you. And I probably could get a little bit more vulnerable, but save that for next week's podcast. I'll put out one more podcast before I leave, and then I'll leave, and then I'll come back. But you guys are so used to that, it'll be fine. I'll be fine. You'll be fine. I know you will. Okay. So anyway, on that note, I just want to say thank you for listening in. Remember, for you today, for the future you tomorrow, so that future you tomorrow can live a wonderful, prosperous life. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get my booty tail out of here, and I will see you next week. All right.
Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Hello Me, It's Me with Nikki D. Lovely. Just remember, you can't change who you were yesterday, but you can always learn and grow to become a better version of yourself today. So make sure you do the mental work today for the future you tomorrow, and I will see you next week. And in the meantime, make sure that you check me out on my Instagram at Nikki D. Lovely, _broke_mama. You can also find me at nikkidlovely.com and check out my book, No F Boys Allowed. I also have a poetry book coming out pretty soon, so just a little shameless plug. But either way, I will see you guys next time, and thanks again.